everyone, it's Lottie from Cancer is a Lifestyle. Happy Sunday to all of you. We have not done a Sunday ramble for about 2 weeks now. Now, as you have noticed, I have not posted anything for 2 days. It is Vlogmas for me is basically over. I realized the other day that the month is almost over and I have to go back to work in a few days, and I have to get ready for work. I have a few things to get done, and I had to kind of like, I think I better stop, and get these things done. I have enjoyed myself tremendously doing Vlogmas. I love December. It's one of my favorite times because of the fact that I save up my vacation and I use it in December. It was wonderful. Probably one of the best times ever. I really, really de-stressed. I crocheted my little heart out. There was a lot of things I did not even show you guys, which I will. But sadly, Vlogmas is over for me. I have other things that I need to get done before I start work and get back into that 10-hour day schedule, and probably even working 6 days. And yeah, that's going to take a lot out of me. As I'm aging, and I think maybe a lot of it has to do with the fact that my cancer and all the chemotherapy I've had and all the radiation, it has really taken a lot out of me, and I tire very easily, and fatigue can be a real problem, especially now in the winter where there is not enough sun, and the days are shorter and it's gloomier, and I really fight the winter blues. So I have to prepare myself for that. So I could, so when I'm working these days, which I'm, working my 10-hour days, it's like I need my sleep. I really am tired and I'm struggling, and I can't exist on 4 hours a day anymore. Do you guys remember those 4-hour days that all parents, this is all moms, we would work and be moms and do everything and exist on 4 or 5 hours of sleep? But I can't do those anymore. So anyway, I got my haircut with my mom. She does all my haircuts except when I do my perms, which I don't do those anymore. I realized that all the body waves I've had, because you can see I don't have a lot of hair, and I would have body waves or like perms to give me some body in my hair, like I have some hair. But those things, they just like ruin your hair. So when my mom's cutting my hair, she says to me, "Lottie, I found some gray hairs." That made me laugh so loud. I said, "Mom, I'm going to be 55. If it's a miracle that I don't have a lot more gray hair." But I thought that was so funny, that she was so shocked that I have gray hair. But I do, guys. And that leads me, January is around the corner, and I will be turning 55. Yes. There was a time where, I am going to be celebrating this coming May 2020, 13 years with my cancer. I never in my life thought that I would be here that long. I never thought I would hit 50. I was 42 when I was diagnosed. I never thought I would see 50. And the fact that I'm going to be seeing 55 is just unbelievable to me. In fact, that for a long time, I would not make plans, like even for 6 months ahead or a year ahead, because I couldn't see a future. And even now, I still don't really make plans too much ahead. So like this past year, I was meeting with my financial advisor, and he's asking me about when I'm like 62 or 65 years old, and I'm like looking at him like, and he's asking me, questions about, when I want to collect my RA and all that, and I'm like, I can't even think past like 6 months from now. You want me to think about when I'm 62? I can't even picture that, because of my cancer. So I was watching Danielle from Take Care Mama, and she was doing a decade in review. And this got me thinking a lot about my cancer, because first of all, she is so right. It did not dawn on me for some reason that we are ending a decade. And I've read somewhere where they were saying that we go through major changes in our lives every 10 years. So I am thinking, I went back and I thought, well, what if I did a decade in review video, what would that look like? And I quickly realized that everything happened in this last decade. Like, my cancer came back after 4.5 years in 2011, guys. And it, for the second time, it came back again for the third time in 2013. It came back for the fourth time, yeah, fourth time in 2016. So I've gone through 3 recurrences in this decade alone, where I marked 4-time cancer survivor, you guys. Do you know how much chemotherapy that is? Do you realize how much radiation that is? I am like, I can't even picture that. But, you know, even though I may look, how can I say, when you guys look at me, do you see that? I don't think so, because I think that's one of my, I don't want to say it, setbacks, but I have a lot of complications from all of that, like with my mobility, with my joints and my arthritis, and I have a lot of like my immune system and my thyroid and weight gain, and I have so many issues from that, but nobody can see that. And but that's great, because I've always wanted not to be I didn't want it to look like a victim. I didn't want to look like I was a patient. And well, anyway, I'm getting carried away. So in that decade, I had 3 reoccurrences where it came out to 4-time cancer survivor. That's what I became. I became a survivor. You know, also in this decade, I started my blog, Enjoying the Journey, Cancer is a Lifestyle, same name as this. I started my blog because I thought I was dying. I thought I was going to die. I had to, you know, deal with dying, accepting that I could, you know, die from this thing. And I started my Crocheting Ministry. I started my chronic illness group. And now I started this YouTube channel. So this decade has just been so packed and filled with a lot of new stuff that basically I kind of stretch myself, because whereas writing has, and it's kind of funny now that I think about it, because writing, I began the decade with writing, and writing came so easy to me, and I feel like I can express myself 10 times better in the written word. And here I'm ending the decade with a YouTube channel where I have to speak, and I had such a hard time with this. So I started it with an easy thing, and I'm ending it with a hard thing. So a lot has happened in this decade. And even with the reappearance of my father in my life after 35 years. So, I mean, there's been a lot of personal things going on in my life here. My son got married during this time. You know, it just, you know, I became a grandmother. So a lot of good things happened in this decade. So I'm kind of, you know, wondering, what is the next decade going to bring? Because first of all, I can't even picture it, because like I said, I can't picture ahead. Ever since my cancer, I can't make plans past a couple months. You know, I just can't. So anyway, I just wondered, what was your decade like? You know, we can go through a lot of changes in a decade, is a lot. A child can go from a newborn to a 10-year-old, which is a huge difference. You can go from a 30-year-old to a middle-aged 40. And I'm going from, you know, I'm going into not even middle age. I'm past middle age. I'm going into senior citizen. So I was just thinking about that. And I was actually, thank you, Danielle, for bringing that up and for doing that video, because it really made me kind of look back and count my blessings a lot, because it really, you know how sometimes you think your life is not eventful enough, or that you're not doing anything, and then when you kind of really sit down and start writing year by year all that has happened, we all lead really eventful lives. So anyway, that is my decade in review. I did a lot. I had a lot of personal. Oh, and another thing, my baby brother had a quadruple bypass just this past year. There's a lot of things that happen. It also made me realize that we are aging. My brothers and I. You know how in your head you think that you're like a 20-year-old, and I'm a 20-year-old in a 20-year-old body. But that's not what it is. I'm not. I'm actually approaching being a senior. Anyway, I will be doing more videos. I still have to do a video about my donation that is ready. I just have not sat down and done it. Of the lap blankets for the senior center. And I'm also going to be doing 12 cast-ons of the year. And I got this from Angela from Yarn and Yarns. And she does this every year. Excuse me. I showed you my first one, my poncho. But every year she chooses 12 projects, one for every month, where she casts on, she's a knitter. And she casts on a personal project for herself. And then she gives herself a whole year. I imagine that's what it is, a whole year to finish these projects. I have been wanting to do a lot of personal projects, and you have heard me when I bought yarn. I would say, okay, this is for a poncho, this is for, a sweater, or this is for socks, or this is, but I have not done anything personal. Almost everything I do goes to donations to charities, and you rarely see me doing anything for myself or for my family. Well, I shouldn't say my family, because I do make them things. But like personal items for myself or even my children, I really have not made them anything. My focus has always been on donations to other charities. So I am going to join in with her on the 12 days of, I mean, not the 12 cast-ons for the year. Now she's doing her 12 days of Christmas cast-ons. I'm going to be doing 12 days for the new year. And I have already started, and I want to show you what I have been doing. So I'm going to be doing some videos on that, what I'm casting on and for whom. And I am basically going to be going and using, it's going to be either Creative Grandma's tutorials, or it's going to be Bag O' Day's Crystal, which I've started with Bag O' Day Crystal's items, and so I'm going to be using their patterns, their stitches, I'm going to be watching their tutorials. So I'm going to bring that for you. And I actually want to encourage anybody else that wants to join in on this 12 cast-ons of the year. And if you guys want to join in and see what we can do, I'm actually debating if one of my cast-ons should be those doggone socks that I want to learn how to make. So I don't know, because I'm scared. But anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in a couple days. I will actually see you maybe in a day or two, to be honest. And I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. Bye-bye.